Who should really consider the Alesis Strata core when they're hunting for a home studio drum kit? Who can safely walk away? And does the price actually make sense for the everyday musician? If you've been staring at that glossy photo and wondering whether you'd end up with a full-blown studio rig or just another piece of hardware that gathers dust, you're not alone. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Let's break down the real-world trade-offs before you hit add to cart, because buying a drum set isn't just about the headline numbers on the spec sheet. First off, the Strata core sits in a sweet spot that's been missing from the market for a while, a fully electronic 8-piece kit that actually feels close to an acoustic set, without the need for a soundproofed room or a mountain of extra gear. The biggest hesitation most buyers have is whether the feel of the mesh heads and the response of the cymbals can stand up to a serious practice routine or gig-level playing. I dug into a handful of forum threads and user videos, and the recurring theme is, it sounds great, but does it stay great when you push it? The answer, for most hobbyists and even some semi-pro players, is a qualified yes, provided you understand where the kit shines and where it falls short. If you're a bedroom drummer who wants to experiment with different sounds, record silent beats for a YouTube tutorial, or jam in an apartment without waking the neighbors, the Strata core's 75 factory kits and the ability to load up to 25 gigabytes of additional content are a huge win. Those numbers translate into hours of genre hopping from jazz brush patterns to heavy metal double bass triggers without ever swapping out hardware. The dual-zone mesh heads give you a soft-spoke feel on the edge and a more solid thump in the center, mimicking the dynamic range of a real snare. For a player who likes to practice quietly but still craves the tactile feedback of a true drumhead, that's a tangible benefit. On the flip side, if you're a gigging professional who needs the same reliability and feel as a top-tier acoustic kit, the Strata core may leave you wanting. The 8-inch kick, while double bass compatible on paper, doesn't have the same low-end punch you'd get from a 22-inch acoustic bass drum. In live situations, the trigger latency, though minimal, can be noticeable when you're layering complex patterns. That's why many reviewers point out that the kit is best suited for practice and home recording, not as a primary stage instrument. Another common concern is the learning curve associated with the module itself. The advanced multi-core processor promises unprecedented realism, but that comes with a menu system that can feel intimidating on first use. If you're a complete beginner, you'll spend a decent chunk of your initial setup time tweaking hi-hat sensitivity and cymbal choke parameters before the kit responds the way you expect. Once you get past that, the module's flexibility shines, especially the 3-zone 14-inch ride and the two 12-inch crashes, which give you nuanced control over attack, sustain, and vibration. Those are the kind of details that separate a drum set that feels generic from one that can be shaped to fit your personal style. Now, let's talk value. The price point for the Strata core lands it in the mid-range of electronic kits, often hovering just above entry-level alternatives but well below the professional-grade models that can cost several $1,000s. When you factor in the all-mesh heads, the magnetic hi-hat stand, and the extensive library of built-in sounds, you're essentially getting a full-featured kit for the price of a single good acoustic snare. That's a lot of bang for your buck if you're looking primarily at practice versatility and recording convenience. The cost becomes harder to justify only if you already own a high-quality acoustic kit and are merely looking for a secondary, quieter option. Who should buy this? Think of anyone who wants to practice at any hour without disturbing housemates. Needs a portable solution for quick gig setups in small venues. Wants to experiment with genre-spanning sounds without purchasing additional hardware. Values the ability to customize kits and load extra samples for a personalized sound palette. Who should skip it? Consider passing on this model if you're a touring drummer who requires the same feel and response as a traditional acoustic kit. You rely heavily on the deep thump of a large kick drum for your music style. You're uncomfortable navigating a fairly detailed module interface and would rather have a plug-and-play experience. In terms of concrete strengths, the Strata core's biggest practical win is its quiet operation combined with realistic feel. The active magnetic hi-hat, for example, lets you open and close the hats with a responsiveness that feels almost identical to an acoustic counterpart. This translates into more natural phrasing when you're playing intricate ride patterns or doing quick open hat bursts, something many cheaper electronic kits miss entirely. The 360 arc cymbal design adds a layer of nuance, as the sensor detects strikes from multiple angles, giving you a more expressive cymbal response.